Hello, everybody. I hope you've had a good week despite the rather unseasonal weather we've been having, and that you have a good weekend coming up. Well, it's been a very busy week indeed in the school following the bank holiday. And of course, one of the big things that's been going on is the assessments for Year 11, particularly in the CMA. And this has meant a move of the lunch arrangements for senior school pupils. So they're now going down in their bubbles to collect their lunches from the dining room and eating them in form rooms. And this is going smoothly and will continue into next week, after which we'll revert to the normal arrangements. Now, a big part of the assessments is something called the Centre Assessment Policy. So the Joint Council for Qualifications requires that every school submits on a pro forma their policy for awarding assessments this summer. So we did a lot of work on that over the last few weeks, and this was duly submitted last week, and we're just waiting to hear back that they're happy with that. So it's clearly going to be important this summer that everything is done properly so that students can be in no doubt that the grades they've been awarded are the right ones. In class, there's also been a great deal going on as pupils increasingly get used to being back in school, and we begin to look forward to the second half of this term, where we'll have our internal exams for other year groups. So most year groups having them in the senior school in the week after half term, with the lower sixth in the week after that, and further details will be sent round nearer the time. Month of May is an important one for us at OLA, being Our Lady's Abingdon. Traditionally, the month of May, as the name implies, is devoted to Our Lady. And I gave a talk to the lower school on Tuesday, just explaining a few things about the Rosary and showing that in May, it's traditional in Catholic schools for there to be prayers using the Rosary, sometimes called May devotions. We're also looking forward now to the Year 6 residential. Miss Taylor's done a wonderful job in liaising with Oxfordshire about this. So normally the pupils will go off to Wales, but Oxfordshire isn't doing that this year because of COVID. So there's an exciting programme of events planned, what they call in county. And I know that Year 6 parents have been written to about that. And I'd also like to thank all lower school parents for their participation in this week's Parents' Evenings. Plans are well underway now for prize giving. You would have seen my letter at the end of last week about the senior school prize giving, so that you can save the date on that. And Mr. Samways in particular is doing a brilliant job in pulling all this together, making sure that things like the flowers and the guest speaker and the prizes and so forth are all gathered in. As you might remember, those of you who were here at the time, last year we couldn't have a prize giving. And so what we're facing now is the need to get back trophies and shields from pupils, sometimes alumni, who were awarded these 2 years ago. So the hunt is on for trophies. So if you have a trophy or a shield in your house that you feel you shouldn't have, then please make sure it comes to the school. And there are also the plans for the social events for Year 11 and Upper 6th afoot. And of course, on the prize giving days, we always have a trip on the upper school prize giving on July the 2nd. There's always a trip for Years 7 to 9 on that day because they don't attend, and that too is being organised at the moment. So it's great as ever to see this sort of opening up of things. Now, the thing that's been, I suppose, most on my mind this week was open morning. We had a big open morning. But what that led me to think about was one of the big, well, I would say one of the key features of OLA, which is our small class sizes. We often talk about our small class sizes at OLA as being really important. But the importance of that was brought home to me in a very vivid way last week when I was invited to teach a lesson in another independent school. So I went to this school, very well-known school, very successful school, excellent results, lots of facilities and so forth. But what struck me about the lesson compared with my teaching at OLA was the size of the class. That is, there were well over 20 pupils in the room, not enormous by state school standards, but it was very clear to me that I simply did not have the individual rapport with the pupils that I can have with a group at OLA. And so, for instance, the groups I'm teaching at the moment at OLA are around 14, 15 pupils. And there's a big difference between that and a group, say, of 25. With 14, 15 pupils, you can really focus on them as individuals and challenge them to be part of the lesson, to participate. Those perhaps who are trying to sort of skulk at the back can't escape notice in the smaller rooms we tend to have at OLA. And I think it just brought home to me the huge advantage OLA pupils have, and you have as parents, to have your children looked after in that very individual way. It is like a tutorial, whereas larger classes simply aren't like that. And it wasn't because I didn't know the pupils in this other school. A lot of them are shooting their hands up. They wanted to contribute things. But of course, they get fewer opportunities to contribute because there are simply too many of them. So it's important that we don't underestimate the value of our small class sizes. It really is absolutely a key feature, and is proving very attractive to many prospective parents at the moment that I talk to. We're still doing many interviews with parents and pupils and so forth, and numbers are looking very promising indeed for next year. So that's very good news. We have, of course, our Year 2-3 Experience Day coming up. So if you know anybody with children in those year groups, draw attention to that. That's on Saturday, not this weekend, weekend after. And then we also have our Year 5 Experience Day later in the term. And towards the end of term, we'll have a day for Year 10, looking forward to Sixth Form 2022. So a great deal going on all the time. I hope you're getting on with your lateral flow tests all right. I'm managing to be quite disciplined about that. Did another one this morning. Become so proficient, actually, and get the whole thing done very, very quickly now. And I hope that's the case with you. So yeah, have a wonderful weekend. I hope it gets a wee bit warmer so that we can actually sit outside and feel the warmth of the sun. And I look forward to speaking to you again next week. Thank you.